it's well rather animated on the radio. But do you think that temper helps or hinders you? Because for some drivers it motivates them, for others it kind of gets in their way.
I feel like I've just always kind of taken it as kind of like a blow-off valve for me. Like, I try not to hold things like grudges or anything like that, and those to me are like I get it out and I'm over it in 10 seconds, and now I can move on and I can focus on it instead of like lingering on this thing that's bothering me. So I wish I didn't have it. I mean, it's just something that it's a part of who I am, but it's like I just got to get it out now. I'm reset and I'm good to go, and everyone else has fun with it. So it's nice to hear all the stuff afterwards about it. But I don't really think it ever hinders me. Like I never carry that frustration. It's just me to get it out and get it done with, and now I can kind of move on.
That's right.
Yep.
By the way, you worked with my brother in Toronto on Taken.
Oh, really?
Rob.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, her uncle, my brother.
What did you do?
Rob White. He was production something.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
We had traded emails for a while.
Oh, did we?
Yeah.
Okay. That was a lot of fun. It was cold up there.
What time of year is that?
It was like January.
Oh, well, then
Up in
it's cold.
Toronto.
Right now it's as hot as like Florida.
Yeah. That was nice. Nice to meet you. Yeah.
Hey Ryan, between Richmond, New Hampshire, Chicago, and all the rain tires using there, do you kind of foresee training for the rain, racing in the rain? Do you foresee that becoming a bigger part of the training regimen in the off season if it isn't one already?
I don't know how we train for it. I mean, it's like you can't really train for something like that unless they have more like testing in the rain. But I feel like the reps we've gotten in the rain here at these different tracks, like that's good for us, like drivers and teams, just understanding what to do in the rain. Kind of like how do you change up driving the car? How do you change up the setup when you have to put reins on it? And each are different. Like a road course in the rain is a whole 180 from an oval in the rain. Like two completely different things. So I think getting reps on that is kind of good because I think this is just getting pushed more and more of opening these opportunities of where can we run at in the rain. I think like Loudon's the biggest place we can go. Everywhere else that's bigger, I don't think you can make it work. But yeah, the training side, I don't know. It's just reps at the racetrack now.
Yeah, and we also had the experiment with the timed race, first time, going to the sunset there. Would you be in favor of NASCAR trying, like, going to a time and not necessarily a lap? Like, for example, the 2 hours of Watkins Glen or the 3 hours of Watkins Glen? No? Okay.
Run laps.
All right, thank you.
What's it been?
Yeah, it was. It was one of the busier weeks I've had since Phoenix, honestly. Yeah, it was in New York, doing the Today Show. Went right to LA for the ESPYs. Did a variety in Sportico, kind of summit that next morning, and then flew right here. Got into the track about 1 a.m. this morning. So it was definitely a long week, but I think it was a good week. Kind of getting out there. The ESPYs deal was neat. To be nominated for an award, I thought was cool, and just I think to have a NASCAR presence there is good, right? You meet a bunch of people that get interested in your sport. You're just spreading this awareness. Like the hardest thing is how do you get people interested in your sport who don't watch it? And you have to give them. If you can't bring them to a race, you have to give them something that intrigues them. Whether it's meeting a person that this guy's interesting. I'm gonna watch what he does, and now they're hooked on the sport if they like it. So I feel like all that stuff is good to do for the sport and like just personally for myself. I enjoy those things. So it's a good week.
My first Spire car was the Melon Man brand car.
So you're excited to get back?
Yeah, excited to get back, and yeah, it's good to be back on the oval. It's
not being able to take 1 week into the other and be able to compete, especially because we haven't seen the next gen car at Indy.
Yeah, I mean, in the past, I think the same guys that ran good at one were good at the other, but with Indy, we've never been there with this car except for the test that a few cars had.
Mm-hmm.
Those cars will probably have an upper hand, but for the rest of us, if we're good here, we'll probably be pretty good there.
Mm-hmm. And then you ran the truck race yesterday. How do you think the track will change? And also just, sorry, everyone's losing their train of thought today. But what did you learn, if you learned anything that could go into tomorrow?
Just good racing, just getting reacclimated with Pocono 180 miles an hour and turning to turn two. Granted, the truck and cup cars are drastically different, but there's a lot to take away, and just racing is good for me.
Awesome, appreciate it.
What I was going to say is that obviously there's some concerns at Indianapolis in terms of the racing. That's part of the reason why I went off in the first place. But do you feel that Indy should always be on the oval, regardless of whether the racing's good or bad?
Could be on the oval, could be across town at IRP. Just as long as we're racing in Indianapolis, that's good. That's all I care about.
All right, thank you.
Do you guys look at like where Busher is and stuff during this? Now that that's one of the winless drivers who are somewhat on the bubble. Like, will you pay more attention to like where he is, where Ty Gibbs is?
Only if he's passing me. Only if he's faster. If he's faster, then I'll study him just like I do everybody else.
But you're not
points-wise.
you're not looking like strategy wise. Oh, we got to do what they do or not do what they do, or is something to create any more of a points cushion or not.
If Phil Surgeon and Trackhouse decides to, then they decide. But they tell me to pit or they tell me to stay out. Rarely do I make those calls.
How do you feel about your position right now?
I mean, I want to win. That's the focus. That's the goal. That's all the preparation. So, yeah, winning solves everything.
And with the NASCAR experiment for one of the first times of the timed race, and obviously counting down to the clock instead of the laps at Chicago, was that something you were in favor of doing?
I didn't know we were going to do it before it was happening, but it was great. I mean, they told us plenty of time. We had hours to prepare. We knew it. Yeah, nothing bad in my book. We were up against darkness, so until we move the start times up earlier, we're going to fight that. So now we know that's a possibility. We could probably go into the weekends with an end time. Just know, we're going to run our distance, but we can decide on Monday what time is it going to be too dark. We can decide that.
All right, thank you, Russ.
Stephen Stumpf of Frontstretch.com here. Come back for more great racing videos, and if you like us, don't forget to hit that subscribe button.